Punch the sky, Spaceman Joe. Yeah. Brr. Tier 1, crazy head. Okay, let's go.
Or keep your dad.
And we're getting into it, everyone. This week's paranormal news from Werewolf Radar is that Rhys Darby, New Zealand comedian, claims to have found the Loch Ness Monster and has game-changing footage.
Guess where it was? It was between the couch cushions. I thought I'd looked there. Now, Rhys Darby, of course, also runs a paranormal podcast, a cryptid-focused podcast called The Cryptid Factor that I absolutely love.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Oh,
and
buddy,
now
welcome.
I will be listening to that entire thing.
He was
Yeah.
he also on Flight of the Conchords?
He was on Flight of the
He
Conchords.
played the
He was
lady that was
Murray.
obsessed with him.
No, he played Murray. I
I don't think that's correct.
think that's correct. You're thinking of Kristen Shaw.
She played the
Longmont's
manager.
own.
Longmont's own. You're right. Yeah.
All right. So, anyway, check out the work of Rhys Darby. It's hilarious. What is, I bet, also hilarious on his podcast and interesting for the rest of the world. I wonder if people know him not as a comedian, but only for his work in the cryptid zone.
I want to know.
You're
the
on.
people
You're
that
on telly, is it?
only-
Interesting. So, Kiwi comedian Rhys Darby believes he has finally figured out the mystery behind the Loch Ness Monster. This comes to us from the New Zealand Herald at nzherald.co.nz. And it's also written by, I don't know, AI bot.
Sure.
No
yeah.
credited author. I assume they are using AI. The
Or maybe
Jumanji
it's-
star got hold of a video that appears to show the mythical creature in extreme detail.
I like that they. That's where they jumped out with credibility. They're like, well, he wasn't Jumanji.
Boy, I'd love to get Jumanji'd.
He knows weird shit.
Wouldn't you guys love to get Jumanji'd for a couple of years?
Just a couple of years,
Just
even
unwind.
dude, even like 2 weeks would be
You get-
fun.
You get so cut from eating fruit and running from apes and stuff.
I
You
guess
do
it
need
depends
protein
on,
to grow muscle.
You wouldn't have to worry about.
which actor do I turn
Work.
into from Jumanji 3?
You would be the dad, but not the hunter version of the dad. You would be the business owner dad.
Yeah,
and you
we're
would
talking
be
about the
very
orig-
mean
the
to his black
original-
employee.
We would. They were pals. He helped him make the shoe.
No, I'm joking, Nate. You would be very kind to your black employee.
We're talking about the OG Jumanji. That's what
Yeah,
I
I'm
want.
not.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
refuse
talking
to
about
recognize the new ones.
this video game nonsense.
I believe they call it the OJ.
Oh yes. Okay.
Okay,
Which
so the
It's a bad
star,
reference now.
the
but,
star of the
only
Jumanji we
since OJ
refused to
Simpson
watch,
covers
believes he has a video that shows extreme detail of the mythical creature. Darby believes they are
Extreme.
shots of. Go on.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You'll see the video. I'm saying,
Darby,
extreme.
Darby believes they are shots of the monster swimming through the water and could help solve the mystery of the Scottish fable. The Kiwi star, along with his pals Leon Kirkbeck and Dan Schreiber,
Dan Schreiber and Leon is the guy they call Buttons on the podcast. Buttons, and he talks like this. It's very funny.
old Schreiber and Buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Revealed on their podcast, The Cryptid Factor, over the years, many Nessie sightings have been blamed on floating logs from woods on the shores of Loch Ness. But this
Yes.
video allows us
Pretty specifically, one major sighting.
a couple of them as well. Bobbing logs is a pretty big skeptic go-to, to where the logs will sink to the bottom. I believe gases will enter them. They float to the top, and then they sink again, kind of creating like, oh, there's something there, and then it goes to the bottom, not to be seen again.
And sometimes you're a doctor doing a hoax.
Sometimes you're a doctor. Sometimes you're a bored surgeon. You know, when brain surgery means nothing to you, you just go out faking.
Yeah, you go do brain surgery. You don't even get hard anymore.
Rhys. Yes, Rhys goes on to say, but this video allows us to see the monster move, see how the monster moves, which is a game changer. As soon as we saw the finished footage, we knew we had to take it to the world. Darby achieved New Zealand stardom, as we said, from Flight of the Conchords, where he played Brett McKenzie and Jermaine Clement. Seems to be a Peter Sellers affair.
No. He plays Murray. He plays Murray.
I just don't think that's right.
It is. It's correct. I love Murray. Where are you off? Say the dick meeting?
All right. I
hate that goatee.
I will take your word on it. Here's a still from the video. What do you think, gentlemen?
I think it's pretty interesting. I think it looks like something is under there.
I mean, it doesn't show us it moving.
It doesn't show us it moving.
I will find the video in just a moment, but this is a still from it.
I'll try to find it. I think it makes it look like there is certainly something down there.
The still makes it look like
I mean, it's definitely not a ball of eels. I can tell you
yeah, my favorite theory, the eel/ball of eel theory. I believe if you've listened to Werewolf Raider long enough, it could be a gigantic ball of eels lashing around, or it could be an unusually large conger eel.
Yeah. Now, it doesn't appear that there is footage. I think that's just photos.
I think maybe it's in his possession, or he will share it in due time. But it is interesting. It is something. I fear, however, it also kind of looks like it's not a log. I want to say it looks like trash.
It could be a log. I could see a log.
But it's moving. Look at that trail behind it.
I mean, also same for trash. Could this? I mean, is it a trash monster? Wouldn't that be crazy?
Could be a trash. Danny DeVito, are you in there?
Hey, it's me. I'm in the lock. I'm throwing garbage around. I'm the trash monster.
Please, just eat a Snickers.
No.
I guess I'll
grab you. I'll bring you into the. Oh yeah, I think Danny DeVito did one, didn't he?
He might have done one.
Now, on the flip side of this, and actually, I have some more quotes from Mr. Darby.
Mr. F.
Darby revealed this is massive. It could be something so bold and legit. We are fully in the game now. If you're familiar with what's been happening, a lot of recent searches and some research of recent years has tried to definitively disprove there being any type of large unknown creature in Loch Ness. So this is kind of that response to that, in which, no, the game is still afoot, if you will. There could be something in there. What is this? He continues, when it comes to Nessie, everyone wants to believe, and it's gone on for many, many years. This is huge, and it's going out there for the world to see. The video, which we will show in the news when it is provided, is 3 minutes long and shows something moving around the lake, causing ripples and waves that you can see if you subscribe to our YouTube. There are a lot of ripples extending. I don't have a frame of reference, but extending some distance behind what we were talking about. Steve Feltham, a dedicated Loch Ness Monster hunter who has spent 32 years looking for Nessie, is astounded by the footage. He says, we have got more information about this one sighting than any possible other one in the history of this mystery. And I would quite happily say that the whole bunch of photographs are the most impressive photographs of something unidentified on the surface of Loch Ness that I have ever seen. Because there are so many photographs, there is so much data, so much more to get your teeth into say, what is this?
Boy. I mean, I can't imagine spending 32 years doing anything, but occasionally being alive. And
he's been alive
if you dedicated
yes
32 years to something, I think you're probably going to see a lot more that you want to believe in.
I'm gonna say the legend is back and wrap up this week's paranormal news from Werewolf Radar.
The legend is back, and
Thank you.
Rhys Darby we have to thank, as well as his friend. I think her name was Chen or something. I can't remember.
I know Buttons. I remember Buttons. Is Lonnie Button part of this crew?
The woman who actually took
Lonnie
the pictures.
Buttons is part of every crew. Whether you know it or not, Lonnie's there.
Well, thank you. On behalf of myself, Jordan, and Nate, we forgot to introduce ourselves at the beginning. The news was too exciting.
She is her name.
Thank you for listening to Werewolf Radar. If you like what we do, give us a 5-star review wherever you can. It's the easiest and best way to help us out and help us grow into a full podcast where we, I don't know, have the time and ability to do crazy exposés on crazy stuff, do real deep dives.
Crazy stuff. Crazy. We're going to go crazy.
We're going to go crazy on some stuff. And that can only happen if you give us a 5-star review and help us grow. Let people see us. If you like video games and D&D and stuff, we have a Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/Werewolf Radar. If you don't like that stuff and the social stuff,
get into it.
Just check us out on our
Now's the time.
On our website, werewolfradar.com. You got our episodes, new and old. Links to our Patreon, our YouTube, our merch store. It's a website. You've been to them before. No porn.
No porn. Yet. Roger's working on a game.
Not a porn game.
Oh, it's going to be one of those porn games you see on Steam, for sure.
We've talked about furry.
Lady dressed as a rabbit with huge hooters.
We've talked about it. And I don't think I can do it, but...
Onlyfurs.com.
It depends on how much money I get.
Definitely
I'd be surprised how much money I get, and we'll do something.
Yes.
I haven't been there, but it's got to be.
What else is there? There's, of course, if you really can afford it in these times, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Werewolf Radar, where you can become a Dark Council member and get awesome paranormal extras such as Grave Nuggets, exclusive episodes curated by Nate that only Patreon members get, merch designed with art from Jordan, and then updates and playable versions of the game I am making.
Hell yeah.
And that's patreon.com/Werewolf Radar. Check it out. There's many tiers, many merches, various things.
Not tiers like tears for fears.
Yeah, not from tears. Wait, no.
Tears for fairs. Yeah.
Let's just go do the podcast.
All right, let's go do the real podcast. Thank you all.
All right, now that this wasn't real, this is all real and applies.
This is the looser one, the news, where we give you misinformation about the show.
No, it's real information, and it's the nudes.
The nudes. Anyway,
we're
we're carrying on too long. On the count of 3, our super duper secret sign off line from one Dylan Gutierrez. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
Suspect the void, space person, whomever.
I pluralized the whomevers this time.